Welcome back, Lockdown Legion, to another tubular, totally awesome, and rad episode
So many adjectives.
of Nerds on Lockdown. What's up, AA Ron? Once again, he's here with me, guys.
Hey, what's going on out there? Legion, Lockdown, Legionnaires. And Mr. Chris, good to see you, my friend. How you doing?
What's up, man? How's it going?
Hey, it's going.
Awesome, man. You know, there's nothing like walking into a room with sticky carpet with that metal quarter in your hand. You walk over and you put the metal quarter in that machine, and that screen turns on, and it asks you to say 1 player or 2 player and start. That leads us in. Yeah, that leads us into our topic today.
Thought we were talking about something dirty and erotic for a second.
Well, it depends on the arcade game you want to talk about.
No, this one will do.
Cool, man. We're talking about arcade games, specifically probably, depending on what's on your list, Aaron, when we were kids growing up, being able to go into a physical place to,
Yeah, the community of the arcade, the sound of the air hockey clinking against the sides and flying off the table and hitting people. At least that's how I play.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Jarring your brother over. Hey, stuff like that, man. Yeah, seriously. For sure, man. So anyways, we're going to go over our favorite arcade games of all time.
That's cool, man. Bringing up the childhood memories. I'm loving the themes lately.
Yeah, man, for sure. All right, dude. Why don't you kick us off with your number 5?
All right, man. This game here, I learned to play at a joint called Nickel, and it was like a late era arcade game for me. And the concept of the Nickel, right, was you paid an admission fee, and then every game inside cost only a nickel. Yeah. So you jam out for hours and only spend like $6, where you couldn't do that when you was a kid because it was more expensive. So anyways, my bad. Going back to this game, this was the first game of its kind that I ever saw in which it's a shoot 'em up where they have the gun attached. You see a lot of those, but this one was a sniper rifle. And this gig was called Silent Scope.
Oh, dude, kick ass.
Dude, I love this game, man. Like, just the premise that you're able to interact with this controller in a way that, granted, now with our germaphobe ways, we would never ever do or touch. In fact, most of us would probably never set foot or touch an arcade out of the heebie-jeebies of it all. But you're missing the point if you don't go in and have these experiences. So
it's like walking into, it's like going to a movie theater to see, I don't know, a big blockbuster movie as opposed to watching it at home. It's the feel, it's the way it.
You lose the atmosphere, the environment.
Yeah, exactly, man. Nah, it's good. Good pick, man. Speaking of God, this is not on my list, but because you said that game. What was it called? It's the Super Scope for NES back in the day. At home.
Dude, I had that.
It's just, yeah, dude. I remember that, dude. It was so fun. Anyways, cool, man. Yeah, all right, brother. My number 5 is a game I actually played not too long ago. About 2 years ago, I found an arcade of it, and I was actually playing at the arcade because they got a couple arcades out where we live.
Still
around. And this one's a Capcom game by the name of Captain Commando, and it's a beat 'em ups game. Very similar to the beat 'em ups as far as like Ninja Turtles 2 or side scroller, side scroller sort of beat 'em up, like Double Dragons, stuff like that, right? So basically you're like this dude, like Captain Commando's this like he's like a superhero sort of captain, and
dude, get down to the bottom. He's a captain and a commando.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Yeah.
And he gets down and you got some different characters, and you could play 4 players on it.
Oh, okay. Well, like a 4-wide console.
Yeah. And then you just side scroll your way through the game. And the reason why I put this on my list is it's not like the greatest game in the world, man. But the reason why it holds so many memories to me is because my wife and my kid, we all went to the arcade together when we did this, and we ended up sitting there and playing the game and beating the whole game together.
Together as a family.
So it kind
That's
of holds
awesome.
that, you know what I mean, that special. But it is a good game. It hooked us all the way through it. So
Right. So what did that run you for all you to play after all the lives?
well, you pay like this play that we went. You pay like $10 for like the whole day per person or whatever.
Oh, nice.
So it's all free. It's free play or whatever.
There you
But
go.
yeah,
That was awesome, man.
cool, man.
Love it. All right, I'm going to roll out number 4 here. This is a racing game that me and my pops would play, primarily at the Bullwinkles Family Fun Center, and I want to say Upland or Claremont, Montclair, one of those cities. But this game was fun as hell. It was like 2 or 4 different people playing at the same time, and it's Daytona USA.
Oh man.
And it was just fun as hell because like my dad's a lifelong racing fan, and inherently I enjoy it, but I didn't grasp on quite as much. But like early on, when we would play the game together, it was sort of like we were bonding on a level that was in his ballpark, whereas at that age, the shit that was in my ballpark he had no interest in. Just justifiably so. It's like, you know, silly things that kids like. But anyways, long story short, Daytona USA, fun game, good crash graphics and dynamics, and good memories with playing with my dad. So
that game was ahead of its time in the arcade, man. I remember sitting there playing with friends and arguing, like arguing on that game, like getting really mad. And I had the Sega the Sega Saturn version of that game.
The Saturn, I remember that one.
And we used to play that all the time. Yeah, that's a good game, man.
Right on, dude. Right on. Hit me with the best shot, Pat Benatar.
All right, man. My next one is a classic. Not the classic, but the third classic in the series. That's Donkey Kong 3 specifically.
Donkey Kong
1, I'm not a huge fan of. It didn't do anything for me. Donkey Kong 2, it was too weird, like the way the you had to go about the levels. But Donkey Kong 3, man, it was the one where you had to shoot like bug spray up at Donkey Kong while he's like hanging on the ropes.
Okay.
And like you got to get him all the way up to the top to like hit his head in a beehive or whatever. And then you have all these insects coming down trying to kill you. So it's like put Donkey Kong in with like Galaga or something like that, and it kind of has that like feel to it where you're kind of moving side to side, you know, shooting. Yeah. So that game's dope, dude. Like I think that's one of the most underrated Donkey Kong games.
Oh, I'll be honest, man. I didn't know there was a Donkey Kong 2.
Oh, really? Yeah, dude.
Yeah. And furthermore, I didn't know that there was a Donkey Kong 3.
Yeah, so I mean, in that era of Donkey Kongs, yeah, for sure, man.
That's right. I'm gonna look into that.
Cool.
So I'm gonna go now with a one-player interactive game where you would get into the seat, as it were, and as you commence the game, the seat that you're in and this console that you're in is actually rocking back and forth and moving forward and backwards and stuff. So it's really interactive. It was the first game of that nature I ever saw as a kid, and it's called Afterburner.
Oh man.
And it's that Top Gun style, aerial dog fights and blowing shit up with missiles. And the game in and of itself, I think if it was just at a flat console, would not be entertaining nearly as much, say, as compared to like a 1942 or something like that.
Yeah.
But because you have the interactivity of the seat motion and all the action there, it made for a lot of replayability and excitement back in the OG days.
Another arcade game way ahead of its time, and I actually had the Afterburner on NES, and it played very much similar to the arcade, but obviously you don't have your motion controls and stuff like that. Similarly to the Top Gun games too on the NES. So
true, and I did enjoy those. I never could land correctly. I could take off like nobody's business, but landing was a problem.
Yeah, man. But but for sure that game Afterburner, man, 1 and 2 were dope, man.
Damn, see, I didn't even know they made a second of that one.
Yeah.
I didn't go to mini arcades as a kid. I ended up going more to these things as like a late teen or whatever, like the Dave and Buster's and things.
Yeah.
Going to an arcade was almost as rare and ritualistic as going to Disneyland when I was a kid. Just because we didn't have one super nearby. There's like one in the mall I'd see once or twice a year and stuff. So it was always a special thing.
Yeah, I had a grandma up in Oregon. I would visit her every summer, and they had something similar to our what used to be Nickel Nickel. Now we don't have it anymore, but it was similar to that where it was a nickel a game. So she used to take me every summer when I was a kid. So I got
cool,
a lot of arcade games and stuff, dude. But yeah,
you got your initials on many machines around the world.
Yeah. Cool, man. All right. Well, my next one is a fighting game by Capcom. Once again, I do like my Capcom games.
Yep, loyal.
Loyal. And that one is Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, specifically that one. And this one, and people know Street Fighter, right? Like everybody kind of knows what Street Fighter is. It's very famous. But this is the first game that introduced Akuma, the character Akuma.
Akuma. Who's Akuma?
Akuma is like he's like the Islander version of Ken, sort of.
Okay.
Long hair and a bun, and darker version of Ken, I should say. He's just a really cool character, especially when you get up to Street Fighter 4 and 5. He's great to play with.
Right on.
But it also had, your normal like Blanca. And Sonya, not Sonya, but what's her name? Chun-Li and Dalsum. And speaking of Dalsum, this is one of the only games that actually had Dalsum's son in the game.
Son of Dalsum.
And his name was Dada. Dada or Dada? I don't know how to say it, but it's Datta. Dada. Yeah, exactly. And it had, Cammy and Bullrock, all the real, but the big one was Akuma.
All your favorite Street Fighter friends.
Exactly. But that game was dope because you could turn on turbo, you know what I mean? And you could play like super fast if you knew all the combos and stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
And all the characters. Yeah. Cool, man. So yeah, that's my number 3.
All right, man. I'm gonna roll into this one. This particular game, I only ever got to play this particular console one time. Let me rephrase that. In one place. This is a game that I could never find in the rare instances that I would go into an arcade. But in Huntington Beach, when we would go camping, there was a little arcade and kick-it spot for the Utes. And Pops would throw me a $5 and I'd go play for 30, 40 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
And this game, it was absolutely one of my favorites. In fact, if I see some footage on YouTube or something, I am literally transported back to Huntington Beach playing this game, WWF WrestleFest.
Oh man.
It was dope as shit. The graphics were really great for their time. They had a lot of the wrestlers in there. You pick 2 and it's a tag team format game. So it would always be like Ultimate Warrior and whoever, right? Because but just solid graphics and a good grappling system and just like really ahead of its time, I feel. And it's the kind of thing that if I had stupid money to blow, you would see it at my house.
You'd buy a cab.
It may be the only game you'd see in my house. It's arcade, unless I had like a super all the games in one thing or something. But yeah, just that game was bomb, man. I mean, it's our childhood, the shows we watched and the passions we had, and it was there in a video game, and I was interacting.
Absolutely, man. Just it's WWF, you know what I mean, at that point. So
yeah.
You gotta if you see that cab, if you're WWF fans like us, you gotta stop and play it,
Yeah, at least show tribute. Dude, the one time I did see one, ironically enough, it was like in Newport Beach or one of those other beaches we were staying at, but the cab was on, but you'd put quarters in and it wouldn't censor. It would never play. So I was so addicted to the game, I dumped like $4 worth of quarters in both slots trying to get it to wake up. And then I went and said, "Oh, it ate my quarter," and the guy gave me like 2 quarters back. Well, I guess that's my fault. I wasn't good at managing money at 8. But anyway, on to you, my brother.
All right, man. So my number 2 is a big one to me. It's a game that I experienced that kind of changed my perspective of, I guess, fighting games. Because before that, I had only experienced Street Fighter, right? Cartoony sort of,
Yeah.
And this game is the original Mortal Kombat. So Mortal Kombat! I don't know if like a lot of people watching this, if they're younger, older, whatever, it it's one of those games where it doesn't hold up really well when you go back and play it, especially the console versions. But the arcade versions are okay; they hold up a little bit better.
Yeah.
But dude, it was the first fighting game that had like blood. It was the first game that had fatalities where you would rip out somebody's spine, you'd chop off their head, or you would, throw them into a vat of acid, or brutalities, fatality, all that stuff, dude. And the original one just had, your normal cast of characters, Raiden and Sub-Zero and Scorpion, which is my favorite Mortal Kombat character. Sonya, Johnny Cage, Liu Kang, and Kano. I think those are and then there was a hidden character in that game, if you can get to that hidden character, and that was I think it was a Reptile in that one. So you could get to him.
Didn't they throw down with Goro?
Goro,
multiple arms, and he was like Tom Poe on roids with extra arms.
Goro was sort of like the mid boss, and then Shang Tsung was like the.
I was never good at the game, so I didn't even reach Goro. I'd get like 3 characters in and get my ass kicked. Somebody would shove a spike or a spear through my face, and the game would be over.
I'm really good at it. I've always been massively good at Mortal Kombat. Like, I pretty much, nobody ever wants to play me, so I have to play alone. But
nobody wants to play me. It's like I remember kids who used to say that. Nobody can beat me. Nobody wants to play me.
No, seriously, it's like when I play Madden. Like, nobody will play me. Like, it's ridiculous. It's stupid because I want to play. Like,
Yeah.
But
passionate.
Yeah. But Mortal Kombat, yeah, man. And I remember this vivid. The reason why I brought this one up, and not just because of all the gore and all that stuff.
Yeah, all the fun stuff. Yeah.
It changed arcade games forever. It changed video games forever, right?
Yeah.
Controversially and everything else. But I remember being at the laundromat across the street from my apartment when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And we would go do laundry, and that game was there, and that's all I would do was just sit there and play it.
Takes a long time to wash a load and then dry a load.
That's right, man. But anyways,
hour and a half, man. You know they got 11 of them damn games now.
That's right. I have the 11th. I have all of them.
It's wicked, man. Like on my YouTube, what I watch feed that pops up. I've been seeing all these RoboCop on Mortal Kombat 11 videos lately. I've been watching them, man.
I just got the update for it, and let me tell you, they're great. Like he's fun to play with, man.
And it's actually Weller doing the voiceover too. It's the original dude, and that's important. I mean, that brings it to a new level. I might have to reinvest.
And they brought in Babe Talent not Babe Tallies, but friendships. So instead of fatalities or brutalities, you get like a nice like hug or something like that at the end. It's stupid, but it's
after the guy beats the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's something dumb. Yeah, but it's great.
That's hardcore.
It is.
Dude,
Anyways, cool.
I gotta get into that. Is that a PS4 or Xbox?
Yeah, game? You can get it on either. I have it on Switch, just because I like it, have it portable. But cool. Yeah, dude. It's on either. I also recommend Mortal Kombat XL too, because it has Jason and a couple other like horror people in it.
Oh, Voorhees. Okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty dope.
Oh, all right. Well, rolling to my number 1. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Top of the list, baby. Here we go. This is a game that was introduced to me one night with me and my family all heading out to Dave & Buster's. And it was my brother and his wife and, my sister, my mom. I think my dad might have been there, myself. We were all going around playing the different games in the Dave & Buster's. In the corner, they put this multiple person, I think 4 or 6 people could sit around this table. And then there's a big like TV at the end that everybody's watching the game on. And basically it's this betting game and it's horse racing, bro. And the game was called Derby Owners Club. Now I didn't know nothing about nothing, but everybody was sitting down to play it. I said, dude, I gotta get in on this, right? So I put my money in. And the first thing it asks you to do is like, you get to create your horse. Like you get to make your horse. I'm like, that's dope, dude. So I started making my horse and giving him all these different features and stuff. And then like, when it was all said and done, it spits out a card and it says,
it has a little card. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, cool, I got a collectible. That's rare. That's a first. And it's like, here is Scooby the horse. I'm like, hell yeah, Scoobs. So I plug him back in. I get the money going. I'm already like $5 into the game. I haven't even gotten on the track yet. then he's like going through these training measures, right? Because you can't go race until you build up your attributes, and it's just this total money-taking game, but it's super addicting. So I'm feeding him carrots, and I'm getting him to pace, around the track with other horses and shit, and get my attributes up, and everything's great. And finally, we're all ready to race together, and I got Scooby and my brother and my sister and everybody are playing, right? It leads out to the track. Now, I don't know how the game works, right? Because I just spent 20 minutes inventing Scooby and building them up. Game actually starts, and I'm right there with my button. We only got one button. I don't got to steer. I don't got to change direction. I just got to, dude, I'm not a gamer like you are, right? Like you're into technical things. I'm a button masher, right? I come from that generation. So the gate opens up, the horses bolt out. I'm just moving my hand over to the other one because I'm getting tired and shit. I'm like, I've hit this button like 300 times in a minute. And everybody else around me, as I look, wondering why they're not all burnt out like I am, every couple of seconds they're just casually tapping the button. And I look, and Scooby is got a tremendous lead, by the way, at this point. Scooby is a shoe-in for number one. Everybody else starts to catch me as Scooby is tired. See, what I did not know about this game is every time you hit the button, it prompts the jockey to smack the horse with the stick thing, which in turn accelerates said horse around the track. I didn't realize you had to pace yourself. Well, now they're catching me, and I'm panicking because I can't figure anything out.
You can't hit it anymore. Or you don't want to hit it anymore because
I've worn it out. I've worn it out. So they start to pass me. So I just go like, man, it's almost at the end. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. Come on, Scoobs. And I'm like, I hit it a bunch more times. Scoob eats shit right on the track and falls over. Everybody else goes around the last turn, finishes first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Scooby, boom, it's over. The screen splits up and it tells you who got into what position: first place, second place, third place. Nothing opens up for me. No image. I don't get a didn't finish the race comment. I don't get nothing.
No DNI or anything.
So then everybody else starts to put their cards in to pay more money to play. And I'm like, okay, what happened? I looked down to put money in, and my Scooby card got spit out. And I'm like, the hell? And I pulled it out and I looked at it, and it said, Scooby is dead.
Man.
I killed my horse.
You killed your virtual horse.
It's messed up, man. I didn't even know you could do that in the game. There ain't no instructions.
That's great. That's a good story, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Forgive me. I said dead because it was for comedic effect. It actually said perished.
Oh yeah, well,
Scooby has perished. I beat him to death on the track unknowingly. All right, man.
All right, man. Good story. Good story. If you guys have any stories about any cool arcade games that you want to let us know about, comment below and give us some stories.
Section for sure, man.
Yeah, because we like to read about it, and I want to kind of know what you guys. Sure. Being a gamer myself, I kind of want to know what you guys live through. It's kind of cool. So.
Man, you got a number one to give us.
I do, man. And this number one, I'm going to take you all the way back to Atari. I'm going to take you back. I'm going to bring it around town. I'm going to bring it all the way back to a game called Tempest. Tempest is my number one. It's right. In fact, I own Tempest 4000 on Xbox. It's still one of my favorite games. And I even play it on arcade simulators like, consoles and stuff like that. And it's basically a game where it's a vectrical game. Basically, there's a lot of lines, right? And it kind of makes this like, I don't know, like the octagonal shape, and it changes sometimes. And what it does is it turns. And then on the outside and the inside, you have these things coming at you, and you're looking at it, and you kind of look like a little C, like your spaceship's like a little C. What you do is you got to shoot these things as they're coming at you. It's like a tunnel. You got to keep going through, and you got to, the way the controls work is you had this little, not a joystick, but it looked like a little round pad, and you would move it sort of like this to make your spaceship go all the way around the tube. You can completely go all the way around it. So you got to time it right to shoot all these things.
Whoa.
And you'll see it in the footage, obviously, but the game is like probably to me, the most addicting freaking arcade game ever, because you sit there and you just want to keep going, man. You just want to keep giving it money because it's, it's like, oh no, I can get one more, one more. We call them one more games. I can get one more. I can do one more,
Come on, Mom, just one more dollar.
But yeah, dude, an old Atari game, but that game is dope. If anybody's ever played it, I mean, it's a true number one for me too, because I mean, you could look at on my keys, dude, my lanyard's a Tempest Atari lanyard. So like that's how hardcore I am with that game. But yeah.
Hardcore.
All right, man. You got some HMs?
HMs for all opinions. We're going to pick a game that's probably similar to that era, maybe a little more older, newer. Mm-hmm. This is an OG game that I first remember on NES, but actually saw it in, what was it, Nickel that time, and ended up playing it for like an hour. This game is called Burger Time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Burger Time was dope because you got this little chef dude and you have to run across. It's got multiple layers, right? Like 7 or 8 layers and ladders linking each layer. And then there's bad guys and they all come after you and you like hit them with salt and pepper and shit to get them to go away. And you gotta run over the top of all of the ingredients,
the buns and the ingredients and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. And it goes all the way down, and you got to make 5 burgers at the bottom. And when it's all said and done, you got burgers. Now, the game in and of itself, I think, was just a game.
Yeah.
But I find that, and this is weird, but I find that in my, like in my work life or in my trying to get things done life, I feel like my logic for doing work is based on Burger Time, because you could have multiple things going on simultaneously, but you have to make it all wrap up nice at the end. Yeah. Different levels and stages of completion. So it's like the multitasking training tool, I think it really. Or it's just a silly game that's got burgers in it, but either way.
Nah, dude, it's a good game. I actually own the it's called Burger Time Party. It's a game that came out for Switch. And basically you could play 4 people at the same time. So it's like a party like version of it where whoever gets to making the food first wins type of deal.
All right.
And it's a dope game. I mean, I remember playing the original obviously also. But the new one's great. If you have a Switch or whatever, you should check it out. It's a fun game. Yeah. Cool, man.
Right on, man.
Burger Time. So mine is another kind of throwback Atari Age game. My honorable mention here is Galaga. Now I know a lot of people prefer like Asteroids or Galaxian or something like that over Galaga. Or Centipede, in that era. I just always preferred Galaga. I don't know what it is. It's just I like being able to like have something capture my ship and then having 2 ships at the same time and things like that. Right. There's a lot of little hidden things in there that nobody knew about, and the noises, the music in it, it's iconic to me still. It's a fantastic game. So yeah, that's my honorable mention is Galaga.
So I gotta ask, did you ever see the Sandler flick Pixels?
Absolutely, and I actually really, really enjoy that movie while everybody else hated it. So
no, I didn't hate it. I'm with you, bro. I was entertained.
I loved it, man. I thought it was great.
Whereas Sandler flicks go, the gimmick made it fun. Made it work. It really made it work. Whereas like the joke comedy was, what it was. Yeah. Sandler always brings things together, man. The Sandman.
I thought it was enjoyable, man. So obviously not gonna be the greatest movie in the world, and that's what people are always hoping for. But like, I thought it was cool. Like, it had some cool throwback things. It had some,
for sure.
You know what I mean? It was just kind of cool, man. It's the same as like Wreck-It Ralph. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got a lot of really cool mentions to things that from our childhood.
Definitely, and ultimately all a throwback to Wizard.
Yeah, exactly.
Games in, which is technically a throwback to, what would that be? What was that Broderick flick with the War Games?
War Games, yeah.
Yeah, so games interacting with reality and yeah. Anyway,
cool, man.
Fun shit, dude. Hey, I think we should take a quick moment right now to do 2 things. First, I think we need to thank everybody for watching and taking time out of their tremendously busy schedules to enjoy the 2 of us and other lovely guests ramble on. I think that's really cool. We really appreciate the Legion. Appreciate your continued support, and we encourage you, as many of you have, to continue providing your comments in the comment section. And we will most certainly get to them. And any suggestions you may have, any episodes you might like to hear, send them our way, man.
Yeah.
We really appreciate everything that's going on here. And frankly, oh, yeah, one last shout out too. We've got swag, y'all. We got some really dope swag. If you like coffee cups and like t-shirts and sweatshirts and like bandanas and oh, there it is right there. That's a good looking sweatshirt.
Yeah, man, it's a hoodie. So everybody get out, get your Nerds on Lockdown swag.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where they gonna get that?
Go to Teespring/stores/Nerds on Lockdown.
Nice.
Teespring.com/stores/Nerds on Lockdown. Check it out. You guys don't have to. Obviously, it does support the channel, does help. But we got everything. We got you covered on that store if you guys want, anywhere from small to 4 or 5X, I think. I mean, what we got coffee mugs, man. Like
yeah. You had me at 5X, Chris.
Right.
All right, man. Let's wrap this baby up, baby.
All right, dude.
What you got?
All right, man. So if you want to hit us up on the social media, you guys can go ahead and do that on Twitter on Lockdown Nerds. You can do that on the Instagram on Nerds on Lockdown. And, of course, you can hit us up on Facebook at Push Up Your Glasses. Once again, I am Chris. This is Aaron. We thank everybody. We want everybody to be safe. Have a fun day. Have a beautiful night. Even a better weekend, because that's coming up, right? The weekend.
And when you drop the video.
Yeah, it depends on when I drop the video, but it'll be somewhere in there. Anyways, guys, thank you once again. We really enjoy. Yeah, be excellent to each other, man. By the way, before we go, did you see that drop of the Bill and Ted? Oh man,
I got goosebumps. I got goosebumps.
We'll talk about that. Anyways, guys. Anyways, guys, peace out. Love one another. See you later.